Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Brewer's Minute. So last week, we got the full spoiler from Masters 25, and Masters 25 is our topic for the day, but in a very specific light. So what we're looking at today are the 7 decks that benefit the most from Masters 25 reprintings. So if you've been looking to get into Modern, looking to get into Legacy, or even Pauper, but waiting for some reprints to bring the prices down on some cards, on some decks, these are the decks that are going to get the biggest price drop, most likely, from the reprintings from 25th Masters. So a quick reminder before we break down the 7 decks that benefit most from Masters 25. If you enjoy Brewer's Minute and the other series here on the channel, it would be amazing of you if you could take a quick second, click that subscribe button down in the corner of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So we're going to count down these lists, starting with number 7, going up to number 1, and while all of these lists benefit a lot from the reprintings in Masters 25, number 7 benefits a little bit less than number 1. So number 1, in theory, is the deck that gets helped the most by these reprintings in terms of cost coming down, the deck being more accessible for players. So let's jump right into it. We're going to start off with number 7 on our list, and that is Modern Burn. So Modern Burn has the upside of already being a cheap deck. The tier versions of it, somewhere between $400 and $500, but Modern Burn got a few big reprints. So big reprint number 1, the biggest reprint, is Eidolon of the Great Revels, one of the more expensive cards and the more important cards in that deck. So getting that reprinted at rare, huge deal, gonna help bring down the price of Modern Burn a lot. But also in the lower rarity slot, we got more Lightning Bolts, we got more Boros Charms, and while Boros Charm being like $15 for a playset isn't prohibitive or keeping people from playing Burn, having Boros Charm be maybe $8 a playset or something is a nice little bonus. You're saving $10 and every little bit adds up. That's like another draft you can play or something like that. So coming in at number 7 on our most benefited list, Burn for Modern. Moving on, we got kind of a dark horse candidate, and that is Pauper Stompy. So here's the thing about Stompy and Pauper. Pauper's already a cheap format. The deck's only like $50, but 2 of the 3 most expensive cards in Pauper Stompy have been reprinted, not only reprinted, but reprinted at common or uncommon. We're talking about Nettle Sentinel and Rancor. So having 2 of the 3 big money cards in Pauper Stompy might mean instead of paying $50 for the deck, maybe you're going to be able to pay $30 or something. And that is a pretty huge decrease as far as percentages are concerned. So if you like the Stompy style of play and you've been thinking about taking the plunge and getting your first Pauper deck, maybe Masters 25 is the perfect excuse for you to finally get that Pauper deck, build some Stompy, go beatdowns with your Rancors, with your Nettle Sentinels. Moving on to number 5 on our list, we're going all the way back to Legacy, and we're talking Death and Taxes. So Death and Taxes didn't get a ton of reprints by the numbers, but they did get 2 pretty important ones. So first off, Thalia, Guardian of Thraben is a fairly expensive card. It was, I believe, the most expensive creature in that deck. So having Thalia be, I don't know, $10 instead of $20, that's a nice discount right there. But the big one, of course, is Rishadan Port finally getting reprinted. Rishadan Port is a card that was making Death and Taxes less accessible. The nice thing about Death and Taxes is it's mono white, so you don't need original dual lands, you don't even need fetch lands, but Rishadan Port was the original dual land, the card that was just so expensive that it made the deck a little bit prohibitive for players to get into. But now with this reprinting, the tier builds, the optimal builds of Death and Taxes, probably going to come in under $1,000, which, of course, $1,000 is a lot of money, but if you're buying a legit tier Legacy deck, a format where decks are commonly $3,000, $4,000 for under $1,000, that is a super great deal. And a lot of the important cards have already been reprinted. Wasteland was printed in Eternal Masters, Cavern of Souls, also Eternal Masters, Rising Canopy in Iconic Masters, Caracas in Eternal Masters, Rishadan Port in 25th Masters, Thalia in 25th Masters. So this is the time. In the last year, so many pieces of this deck have been reprinted. If you've been thinking that you want to get into Legacy, keep an eye out for Death and Taxes, because this is the window to get that deck if you're interested in the format, which brings it in at number 5 on our list. Moving on to number 4 on our list, we have one of my favorite decks, and that is Ponza for Modern. So Ponza, the big reprint, of course, is Blood Moon. Blood Moon getting its 3rd reprinting. This should be the one that really crushes the price of Blood Moon. Was like a $50 or $60 card not that long ago, was down in the 20s after the most recent reprinting. Now we're probably going to be looking at sub $10 Blood Moons, which suddenly means a deck like Ponza, which is already fairly budget friendly, is going to be even more budget friendly. But that's not all. There's also some sneaky good reprints that help with the deck, with the biggest one being Utopia Sprawl. Utopia Sprawl was running close to $30 for a playset of an uncommon, but now that that's reprinted at uncommon, price is going to come down a lot. Arbor Elf also coming back, which, I mean, is a nice little benefit. It's not a huge thing. Also, Courser of Crewfix often shows up in those decks as like a one-of, getting a little bit cheaper there as well. So if you like blowing up your opponent's lands, it's a great time to take the plunge, get in on Ponza for the modern format. Moving on to number 3 on our list, we have another one of my favorite decks, actually my favorite deck, and that is Mono Red Prison. I call my builds of it Free Win Red, but a lot of people call it Mono Red Prison. Basically, this deck got about 1 million reprints. So many important cards for the Free Win Red deck were reprinted in 25th Masters. So here, we're talking about Chalice of the Void, the single most expensive card in that deck. We're talking about Ensnaring Bridge, the 2nd most expensive card in that deck. We're talking about Blood Moon, the 4th most expensive card in that deck. We're talking about Simian Spirit Guide, another surprisingly expensive common, now uncommon. So almost all of the expensive cards from Mono Red Prison / Free Win Red are coming back, gonna drop in price thanks to 25th Anniversary Masters. So if you like slamming those turn 1 Chandras, you like ensnaring bridging your opponent, locking them out of game with Blood Moon and Chalice of the Void, it's a perfect time to pick up pieces for Free Win Red / Mono Red Prison for the modern format. Moving on to the top 2 on our list, we kind of have a surprise candidate, and that is Amulet Titan for the modern format, which gets a surprising amount of help in terms of reprint. So Amulet Titan, the combo deck looking to play the bounce lands, untap them with Amulet of Vigor. You have a lot of good reprints from the set, starting with Azusa Lost But Seeking. This is the one modern deck where Azusa Lost But Seeking is a 4-of staple, and Azusa was like $60. Now you're going to be able to get a whole playset for $60, which is a massive, that's like $200 off the price tag almost, just by that one reprinting. But it doesn't end there. It's a 4-of Summoner Pack deck, one of the only 4-of Summoner Pack decks. It also plays Pact of Negation. It plays Ancient Stirring, another $15 a playset uncommon. So a lot of the most expensive cards from the Amulet Titan deck really going to be decreasing in price, especially since Azusa is a rare in 25th Masters, going to really crush the price there. So if you are a fan of really weird, hard to play combos like Primeval Titaning your opponent, which itself has been reprinted a few times, not that expensive anymore, like $26 for a playset, it is a great time to pick up the pieces, start playing some Amulet Titan in the modern format. Coming in at number 1 on our list, we're going back to Legacy, and we're talking Imperial Painter. So the single deck in all of Magic that I think benefits the most from the reprintings in 25th Masters is Imperial Painter in Legacy. So what is getting reprinted that's so important for Imperial Painter? Well, number 1 is Imperial Recruiter. It wasn't that long ago, Imperial Recruiter was about $200 a copy. So a playset, $800. $800 for a playset of Imperial Recruiter. But now it's already down to like $60, and I'm recording this a few days ahead. It's probably even lower than that now. I would not be surprised to see it under $50 or even $40. Just a massive, insanely huge price decrease. But it gets a bunch of other help too. Simian Spirit Guide, inexpensive common, it's back. Lightning Bolts, can't hurt. Red Elemental Blast, also returning. The other big ones though are Blood Moon and Ensnaring Bridge, also found in that deck. So if you like to turn everything one color and mill your opponent out in one shot with Grindstone, Imperial Painter is going to be like half price. This is going to be way cheaper than it was before. So if you like the prison strategy, you like kind of locking your opponent with hateful cards like Blood Moon and Ensnaring Bridge, tutoring up combo pieces with Imperial Recruiter, and then suddenly winning out of nowhere with a really sweet combo, Grindstone and Painter's Servant. This is the perfect time to jump into Legacy. The pieces are going to get a massive decrease in value, so keep an eye out for that. Anyway, that's our 7 decks that benefit the most from 25th Masters reprinting. So let me know what you think. Do you think you'll play any of these decks? What other decks get a big price decrease, a big boost in accessibility, thanks to all the Masters 25th reprints going around? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.